$500 up to $1,200 guaranteed monthly checks, and all the details. Let's get into it and discuss what's going on. All right, now in this video, I do want to discuss all the details of ongoing monthly checks, specifically focused on the low income and all of these programs that are set up all across the country right now, and how all of these programs are just setting the stage for even bigger, better checks to come. Let's get into it and discuss what's going on. However, really fast before we do, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe by hitting the button right down below the video, as it's totally free to do so. And because I am your one and only daily advocate, I'm here for you right by your side each and every day, watching all this new information hitting the wire, doing the research and breaking it all down into these short videos to help you out in any way that I possibly can, as well as keep you informed on how all of these changes and new information is going to impact you, your money, your benefits, your lifestyle, your bank account, and of course anything showing up you can possibly grab and or take advantage of as a low income or fixed income beneficiary. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and remember, it's totally free to do so. And also remember, I am here for you in any way that I can be. That's my dedication, that's my commitment, and as always, that is my promise to you and everybody right here in the community. All right, thanks again. Let's get into it and talk about all of these guaranteed monthly check programs that are set up all across the country right now, and how all of these are just setting the stage for much bigger, better checks to come for the low income all across the entire country. All right, so I do want to talk through the details, as there's a lot of moving parts here. There's a lot of things that are changing, and if you've been watching the videos here on the channel for any length of time now, you know that I've talked about many of these different monthly check programs. In fact, just a couple months ago, I was out with a separate video talking about 34 of the programs, and I was pointing out the different states, cities, counties, and different locations all across the country that have ongoing monthly check programs literally right now as we speak. So that video was a couple months ago, but there are over 60 of these different programs going on all across the country, and the dollar amounts range anywhere between $500 ongoing every single month up to $1,200 in some instances. Now, I also want to point out that $1,200 figure, there's also another proposal out there right now from some lawmakers in the House of Representatives who are also implementing a nationwide program to send out $1,200 ongoing checks for the low income indefinitely. Sounds amazing, right? Yeah, where do I sign up, right? Where do I enter my bank account information? That's all we want to know, right? Well, here's the thing. Of course, as of right now, it has not been approved yet. It has not been applied yet. However, I do want to talk you through the details of that proposal and how all of these programs set up all across the country right now are literally just setting the stage for a nationwide program. So here's what happened. Not that long ago, we got this proposal out of the Democratic representatives in the House of Representatives, obviously, who actually came out and introduced this new proposal to send out $1,200 ongoing monthly checks for anybody across the entire country, a nationwide program who has an income of under $75,000 as an individual or $150,000 as a married couple. Now, that is what the proposal was implementing. Now, at the same time, they also wanted to implement and start all of these little pilot satellite programs all across the country. Now, what do I mean by pilot programs, and what do I mean by satellite programs? Essentially, what I mean by that is little pilot programs. In other words, little test programs all across the country. And when I say satellite, I literally mean, all across the country. Like, it's like scattered across the country, like little dotted programs all across the country. So if you were to look at a map of the entire United States, it's like taking, a handful of marbles and throwing it onto the map, and wherever they land, that's kind of like where the programs start, right? So kind of dotted across. So that's what I mean by pilot programs, is little test programs across the country, and little satellite programs essentially set up all across the country. So that's what they wanted to do within this proposal, set these programs up. Well, guess what's happened here over the last few years? We've seen over 60 of these different programs, guaranteed basic income programs, popping up all across the country, exactly as they wanted to do, right? So the whole idea behind setting up these programs is to do some testing on them to see, are they really effective? Do they really help the low income? Are they a bust? Do they not help at all? Do they, give the money to the people that actually need it? What do the people do with the money? Do they spend it? Do they save it? Do they buy necessities? Do they buy toys? What do they do with it, right? Well, what they're finding from all these studies so far over the last couple of years is that they're finding the people that get this money are way better off financially. And again, the programs range anywhere between about $500 and $1,200 per month. Now, I'm going to be fair with you. The vast majority of the programs that are out there do send out $500 per month. In some instances, they send out $750, or in some instances, they send out about $1,200. But most of them are $500 a month. And again, just being fair with you, that is how most of these programs are set up. But again, let me ask you really quickly, would an extra $500 per month change your life? Yeah. In a big way, right? That'd be a huge, huge difference for a lot of people that have an income, again, like I said, under 75 grand a year. And again, that's a very high threshold, in my honest opinion, for somebody that's determined as low income. In my honest opinion, somebody that's low income is like $40,000 or less. And again, maybe we could say $50,000, but honestly, I would say something more along the lines of $40,000 of income per year would be more along the lines of what I would determine as somebody as low income, right? But again, that's my opinion. Doesn't really matter what I say. It's all up to the people that have the final say at the end of the day, and it's the lawmakers. It's not me, unfortunately, right? So it'd be very different if I were there. I can tell you that much. We wouldn't need to have these conversations because I'd make sure that everybody's, kind of taken care of. But anyway, that's beside the point. But my point is, what they're finding with these reports is that with all these studies and everything like this, where they're finding that the finances of the people that are actually enrolled in these guaranteed basic income programs are way better off, right? They take the money and they're able to buy the necessities that they need. They're able to make necessary car repairs, home repairs, appliance repairs, things like that. They're able to buy the necessary foods and eat healthier is also what they're finding as well with these reports. They're also able to find that these individuals are also able to, seek medical attention more promptly, because sometimes some of us may not, seek medical attention, all the time, maybe very promptly because, co-pays, deductibles, things like that can be a huge deterrent for a lot of people, right? Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not a doctor. I am not saying that we should, forego medical attention. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just simply telling you, this is what the reports are finding, right? So what these reports are finding, just a simple $500 more per month for a lot of people, millions of people across the country, is a huge, huge difference. It changes the lives of people, is what they continue finding with these reports. And that's exactly what they wanted, again, with this $1,200 nationwide program as well, is they wanted to do these satellite programs, the little pilot programs all across the country to see, are they effective? Do they help the people? Do they not? Are they a total waste? What goes on? And what they're finding is that no, this money is not a waste. In fact, it's very well, money spent very well, and it actually helps the people in a huge, huge way and changes the lives of those beneficiaries who are enrolled in these programs, right? So we can continue to find this time and time again. I've talked about many of these reports many, many times here over the last couple of years. You probably heard me come back and talk about the different statistics that shows that these programs are very popular and the people that are enrolled obviously love them. I mean, who wouldn't, right? Let's be real for a second. Who wouldn't love an extra $500 guaranteed basic income check every single month that you can do whatever you want with? Remember that as well. It's a no strings attached to payment, right? So sounds pretty nice to me. Yeah, you can do whatever you want with it. Save it, spend it, do whatever you want with it. Literally doesn't matter, right? So here's what else is interesting about this. Like I said, those lawmakers in the House of Representatives came out with this new bill to introduce this as a $1,200 nationwide guaranteed basic income program. So, and again, the income thresholds they have is $75,000 a year as an individual and $150,000 as a married couple. Now, obviously, those could be tightened up a little bit. Those could be changed. But essentially what they're calling on is Americans are struggling right now. Yeah, newsflash, it's nice that somebody figured that out. Yeah, a lot of people are struggling in a pretty big way right now. They also found with these stimulus checks that we've received over the last couple of years here, that these have been very, very life-changing for a lot of people. In fact, a lot of people paid down things like credit card debt and other consumer debts people paid down. In fact, we, the consumers, paid down record consumer debt in the last few years here that we were receiving those stimulus checks. Amazing, right? However, here's the problem. in the last year and a half or so since we got the last stimulus check. Actually, it's been more than a year and a half, almost 2 years now since we got the last stimulus check. What's happened is we've racked up credit card debt yet again to $1 trillion. So yeah, what happened is we paid down it when people had the money, and now that people don't have money again, they're basically just floating balances on credit cards. So what these lawmakers are suggesting is that an extra $1,200 a month would be life-changing for a lot of people, and this is what they're suggesting on a nationwide level. So essentially what it would come down to is basically like a monthly stimulus check in the amount of $1,200. Now again, I want to say this much as well. In the event that they start working on this on a nationwide level, and when I say nationwide, I'm literally meaning all states included, all counties, cities, basically everybody across the entire nation would be included, because this would be administered by the federal government rather than a state government or a local city or county government, right? So that's what I mean by that. As nationwide, this is like the best of all the worlds because it's all encompassing and it reaches everybody across the entire country, not just state by state, right? So that's what's really cool about this. However, I do want to say this much. In the event that they start working through these programs, and if they start to do something like this, I wouldn't be shocked at all to see them come in and lower this dollar amount from $1,200 a month down to something maybe more like $1,000 or $800 or $600. I wouldn't be shocked at all to see these numbers come in a little bit. And the reason that I say that is a lot of these lawmakers always come out with the bills and they come out with the dollar amounts very, very high. How many times have we seen this over the last several years now that we've been talking about this on a very regular basis? All these bills that we see come in huge, 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 and then they get whittled down quite a bit, right? So again, these dollar amounts usually are negotiated lower because that's kind of what we need to get these things through Congress. So I wouldn't be surprised at all to see this, brought down quite a bit from the $1,200, but it's a nice starting point. It would be really nice. Even $500, $600, $700, $800, even $400 would be life-changing for a lot of people right now. I mean, let's be real for a second. For those of you that are receiving fixed income benefits like Social Security, retirement, SSDI, survivors, SSI, VA, and RRB, we've been hearing about these proposals of a $200 increase, and we've all been saying $200 would be life-changing for us right now. Yeah? Well, that's $200. Just imagine $400, $500, $700, $900, $1,000, something like that. Yeah, it just gets better and better the higher the number goes, right? Obviously. So anyway, I wanted to come back for you and let you know what's going on here. But these guaranteed basic income programs all across the country right now are on purpose. You know what I mean? They're all out there as a study to figure out what's going on and what do these programs actually suggest for the beneficiaries that are taking advantage of them, and for the people that are enrolled. What are these programs really doing? Don't get me wrong, they're gathering a lot of data on these programs and of the recipients. They're doing a lot of research on this, and they're gathering a lot of information on this. And again, they're finding that these reports and what these studies are showing is that these programs are very, very effective and they help out the people in a huge way. So, moral of the story being, that's good, and it sets the stage for bigger, better checks on a nationwide level at some point. Either way, I want to come back for you and describe this a little bit further, as these programs are very good. And even if the program is not going on in your local area, just know that these are gathering very, very important information across the entire country. And like I said, continue to set the stage for bigger, better checks to come. So anyway, I hope this one helps you out. Please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other thousands upon thousands of videos here on the channel. Until next time, enjoy your day, have a good one, and I'll catch you again later in the next